What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to youtube.com/Pelfrey. This is the Red Sea Reefer 250, and again, based on some comments and suggestions, I'm slowly working to get this tank where it needs to be. Now, the comment and suggestion that I am referring to at the moment is regarding flow, and a gentleman by the name of Reef Keeper mentioned that he is running the lunar tide cycle on his Maxspect Gyre pumps. So I'm going to go ahead and give that a try. So if we look at the Gyre controller here, you can see I have the LTC mode selected for both pumps. And excuse the display here. My Gyre display has been like this for about forever. So I got it going up to 40, I think 50%. So we're gonna give that a try. I feel like with this being a mixed reef, the corals were getting pretty hammered. And since I was down here looking at the controller, I figured this is where I would start the video at. So not a bad picture from this area. But if we move over and look at the corals, they are still getting some really good flow, but not nearly as beat up as they were getting with the previous advanced settings that I had set on the Gyre pumps. Step back here, it's going to be probably kind of hard to see, but overall, I'm going to give this a try. And you know, based on a lot of the other comments, people were saying just leave everything alone, and trust me, I am trying to. I'm just trying to get it dialed in to where I can leave it alone. It's just really not part of my nature. I'm really trying to leave it alone. Quick update down here. What I've did, I got this pulled out. I've purged the alkalinity and calcium lines because there's no reason for liquid to stay in them, just because I'm not dosing anything right now. Quick update on the valve here. This thing has been flawless, perfect. As a matter of fact, the day after I set it up, I had to come downstairs and make sure that the tank was running, simply because I never really had issues up until recently with the Red Sea valve, and it ran quiet, don't get me wrong, but it was never like 100% silent. I always had a pretty good flow going down that middle drain there, which is the emergency drain, and now you can see I have a trickle going down it, and it makes no sound whatsoever. I've never been able to tune it that fine before, so again, I am absolutely thrilled with that modification. But aside from that, not a whole lot else going on. The skimmer is making a little bit of noise. Sometimes I have to turn the lid here and adjust it a little bit. I want to get a dry skim going in here. I don't want the wet skim that's going on. So maybe I can readjust that to where it's not making any noise. Do still have carbon in the reactor for now. What else is going on with the Red Sea Reefer? I did back off of the algae turf scrubber. I think 30 minutes. I don't want to drastically do that. So, and I did increase the lights of the T5s a little bit. So, wonder if the snail knows that it's at the top of the water line. Matter of fact, its whole shell is out of the water. Two of them up here just mowing away at whatever they can get their arms on, or mouths, whatever, however these little characters feed. Real quick, as an update to the T5 situation, what I am running is a Blue Plus, a Coral Plus, an Actinic, and a Blue Plus bulb. Now I have two Blue Plus bulbs already in, and I have ordered two Actinic bulbs. So my plan is to run probably in this fashion a Blue Plus, an Actinic, and an Actinic and a Blue Plus. Or should I run them Blue Plus Actinic, Blue Plus Actinic? Is it really going to matter? I'm not really sure. You know, I can adjust the color with the Kessels, so you know, it's the combination that I'd like to try out. Had some people mention to me that purple pluses were also good bulbs to go with the Kessels, so I don't necessarily dislike the Coral Plus bulb. but figured I'd try a new bulb combination. Like I said in the last video, the Blue Plus bulbs have been running for quite some time now, so it is definitely time to replace them. And since I'm going to go ahead and replace those, I may as well replace all of them. And you know, that may or may not be the best way to go about this, but that's just kind of the route that I'm going to take. Another item that I did order that I've never used before, and I don't have any reason to use it at the moment, but it's Kalkwasser. I went ahead and got it just because I feel like I may experiment with that versus dosing whenever that comes to time to it. I don't really want to run it in my auto top off just because my auto top off is kind of a pain to pull out, and if I do need to clean it, because you get that sludge at the bottom. So I may try to do a couple of different things. I may try to drip it whenever the time comes, or I may dig into it a little further, do some more research, and figure out how I can use the doser and Kalkwasser. So, you know, I guess one of the things that I could look at is how much evaporation am I getting per day, and I could do the dosage based on that. I'm not necessarily against running it in my auto top off. Again, it's just sort of the simple fact that it wouldn't be very easy to pull out to clean it if I need to clean it. And I know that there's other options to use it. And quite frankly, you know, I know I've chased nitrates and phosphates, but with my pH being in the high 7s, sometimes hitting 8, the Kalkwasser could, and it's supposedly supposed to help pH issues. So again, it's not something that I plan to use immediately, but I went ahead and ordered some just because I already had some stuff that I was going to order from Bulk Roof Supply, and figured it'd be good to have on hand. I did order some more carbon. I don't run carbon in this tank that often, but the last couple of weeks that I have run carbon in the tank, it has been crystal clear, and quite honestly, I'm running low on carbon, and it's just something good to have and run every once in a while. You know, you hear people talk about coral warfare and just the clarity that you get with carbon. So, you know, I'm trying to, I know that I've tried to advance myself a little quickly in the hobby, but I'm trying to, at this point, just not necessarily take steps backwards, but have a more simple approach to reefing in general. Taking a look at the hammers, they're definitely not getting beat up as much as they were. You can ignore the glass there on the bottom left-hand corner. I try not to get close to the bottom with the flipper magnet, but I feel like they could use a little bit more flow. Let me know your opinion on that. Before they were getting beat up probably a little bit more than they needed to, but they never really did suffer, so to speak. And if we take a look at the right-hand section of the tank, you can see that the torch has a little bit of movement in it, and that's probably how it's supposed to look versus the way that it looked in the previous videos where it was just getting hammered with flow. The toadstool in the background is moving a little bit, and it's definitely not a high flow coral to begin with. So, you know, like I said, I'm going to give this lunar tide cycle gyre setting some time to figure out if I like that flow or not. If you look right there, well, he just swam out the little Midas blenny. Really cool fish, really nice fish to have. Of course, the Royal Grammas add a beautiful purple and yellow hue to the tank. The Coral Beauty just swam past, and it's a darker fish, so it's kind of hard to see anyway, especially with the rocks being dark and it's got caves to swim in and out of. But the Midas blenny is definitely a fun fish to watch. You know, it perches all the time, so you know, it's not uncommon to look over at the tank and just see its head sticking out. That's going to wrap it up for this video, folks. I do appreciate you following along. As always, keep the comments, suggestions coming my way. I definitely do listen to them. I'm trying to be a better reefer. By no means am I a pro. I know, again, that I like to tinker a little bit too much. I'm trying to get away from that. really nothing else to add at this point. It's been a up and down journey. Very satisfied with where I'm at. You know, it just takes some time and some learning, and you know, I'm excited to see where the future goes. Check me out on Instagram at Pelfrey's Reef. Check out the website, pelfrey.net. Hopefully we're on the up and up. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.